if you have a very busy mind right now, or you're having sort of obsessive, repetitive thoughts about something, this meditation is for you. It's going to be very short and just sort of reground you and clear your mind. So one quote that I saw today that I had actually written down a long time ago is that a busy mind is like a blindfold. I think that's really interesting because when we're thinking chaotically in our mind, problem solving like crazy, or strategizing around a certain topic or issue, we're really just not seeing clearly at all. It's almost like we're just wearing a blindfold. So with this meditation, we're going to really figure out how to work with these sort of compulsive thoughts that we all have. Sort of just like you have your top songs on your iTunes or iPod. I think we all have sort of our top thoughts, in our mental playlist of the things that we like to obsess over. So find a comfortable seat and close your eyes. Start just focusing in on your breathing. Just sort of get centered. Feel your sitting bones rooting on the floor, and your spinal column shooting up between the balance of those two sitting bones. And just notice if your breath is short or moist or heavy, if it's more in your chest or more in your belly. Just let it be easy. And I'm going to have you pick whatever's on the top of your obsessive mental playlist, or something that you're obsessing over to work with. So think of what that is for you today or this week. I always can identify what I'm obsessing over because I'm constantly trying to problem solve it or strategize around it. So that's always a big hint to me when I'm obsessively thinking about something. As you focus on your breath and your breathing, notice that the experience of obsessing over something is a very mental experience. It takes place in the mind, and it also just lives in the upper body. It lives in our head, in our ears, in the space between our eyebrows. It lives in our collarbones, in our shoulders. It really lives in our neck. It tends to be sort of an upper body, sort of collarbones and up, or chest and up experience. So just notice if that's true for you. And just breathe. Feel your collarbones widening. Feel your tailbone heavy. Soften your belly. Relax the space between your eyebrows. And just focusing on deepening your breath. And the next thing we're going to do, now that you have your thought or that you're working with, is I want you to ask, is this thought, is this thing you're obsessing over, is it even in your control? So just pose that question to yourself. And what this really means is that so much in life is actually not in our control. Our mind likes to trick us and make us think that so much is in our control and that we can control the outcome of all these different things. But the reality is really anything that's external to us, so anything that involves another person, or anything that involves any sort of outside event, isn't actually truly in our control. It's just not. We can do certain behaviors ourselves to try to encourage certain outcomes, but at the end of the day, we actually don't have control. So taking a deep breath, just really examine what it is that's running around in your mind, this obsessive thought, and see if it's even sort of in the realm of something you can directly control. A lot of times when I have spinning or obsessive thoughts, it is often because I'm trying to control a situation or an outcome that is, again, external, involving other people. And it's therefore a situation when I actually have limited or no control. And this can be difficult to accept, so just sort of sit with it and really think of your breath expanding side to side as you sit and breathe, letting it get longer. And if you think or if you see that, what you've been worrying about or obsessing about isn't actually something you can directly control, it's something that hinges on the external, see if you can maybe let yourself off the hook. Or see if it's perhaps time to let the impossibility of controlling the uncontrollable go. And it should feel like just putting down a really heavy backpack. Just practice sitting with that. And as you do, see if you can move some of this mental energy, this mental aggression that's in the mind and the upper body and the collarbones, and see if you can start just sort of breathing it down into first the chest and the ribs, and then continuing to breathe it down towards your belly button, and continuing to breathe it down towards your pelvis and your hips. So just sort of be aware of this, it's called downshifting of your energy from buzzing in your head to becoming something more solid and grounded, and that exists lower in your body. We're just moving that energy down. We're not getting rid of it. We're not asking it to go away. We're just asking if it's really something that's in our direct control, and if it can move down. If it can move down in our body so we don't have to hold it so much in our mind and our necks. The bones near the top of our body are thin and delicate, and the bones by our hips and our pelvis are huge in comparison. So that's where you want to hold things. It's much stronger. And if you answered yes, that what you're obsessing or have been thinking about actually is in your direct control, it's just a direct task that you need to accomplish that doesn't involve external things or external people, that's great too, because with either response, the next step is the same. And that last step is to trust. It's to trust. If what's bothering you is in your control, it's to trust yourself that you will get it done. And if it's something that's not in your control, it's to trust that the universe and the unfolding of things and your ability to handle a variety of situations will lead to an outcome that is okay. And for me, I locate this trust in my pelvis, in my lower body, which is where we're working on downshifting our energy. So as you breathe the energy down, invite in this notion of trust. Trusting yourself and trusting life and the unfolding of things. Try to soften your body as you do this. So think about perhaps not sitting up as rigid or straight as you are at this stage. Maybe just think of your back body breathing and expanding. The vertebrae stacked on top of each other, just loosening. Thinking of it more in a horizontal fashion. Relax your belly and the space between your eyebrows. And in order to trust, we have to invite in this sensation of surrender, which is really focusing on this softening. Can you surrender and can you trust? And just keep breathing the energy down. If you've got it down from your head to your chest, move it from your chest down towards your hips until it's really in the belly. Take a couple really deep breaths from the belly. Inhale, feel your ribs expand, your belly expand, your belly button moves out. And on the exhale, your belly button moves in. Your pelvis almost contracts. And you're just taking really, really slow, deep breaths. And you can imagine your pelvis as this bowl. The pelvis is between your hips. It actually is a bowl, the structure of the bones. And it can hold a lot. Move your energy down there. And let your mind and your shoulders and your spine soften. So this meditation is designed to be approximately 15 minutes long. Please sit and stay. If you can, keep your eyes closed and sit for another few moments or as long as you like. Again, stay or lower your chin to your chest so your gaze would be towards the floor. And whenever you decide you're ready, just aiming your gaze at the floor, you can very slowly open your eyes.